It's Friday, y'all. This is Turkey coming to you from West by God Monroe, Louisiana woods. Boy, I can't wait for this weekend to get kicking. And it's just starting, y'all. It's just starting. I'm going to put me a big old bonfire out there. I'm going to drink me a few beers, smoke me a few cigarettes, play with old bulldog, hug and kiss on mommy, and I'm going to see where it leads me. Anyhow, I hope everybody had a blessed week. Oh, I'm so glad it's over. Yes, I'm glad it's over, by God. Anyhow, I seen something today on the news about Calvin Bundy out there. He had made some comments, and I read what he said, and I did a little research because, you see, when I was in middle school taking Georgia history, I talked about this the other day about my Georgia history teacher, Mr. Pearson. He was a very smart man. And, you know, he pretty much, we got into the slavery issue. Now, I know this is going to hurt some butts, okay? But slavery's been around ever since, well, before Jesus Christ walked the earth. It wasn't a United States thing, people, okay? We weren't the only ones. You had the Egyptians, you had the Arab states, you had, you know, there was Irish. Hell, St. Patrick was a slave in Ireland. Anyhow, I got to do a little bit of research. Now, here's the facts, people. The facts is that only about 5% of African Americans were sold to the United States during the slavery times, Civil War, and so forth. Now, I'm not saying slavery is good. It's not. All men are created equal. Plain and simple. Let's get that straight before I go any further. All men are created equal in this country, and that's the way it should be. However, okay, my Georgia history teacher taught me one time. He said, "Let me ask you a question." And he's asking the whole class. He said, "No, so I'm going to ask y'all the same question. I want y'all's opinion. So y'all comment on this question, y'all. If you had a brand new Mercedes-Benz convertible, or pick your favorite car, it don't matter, just whatever, and one morning in the winter, you get up, you go out to that car that you love so much, and you go to try to start that vehicle, and it don't start. It don't work. It ain't going nowhere. Now, of course, if you're mechanically inclined, such as me, or redneck, you know, mechanic-wise, you gonna try to figure it out and get it working. You got to work with it in order to get it working. But that ain't the question. The question is, if you had that brand new vehicle, and the first time it didn't start in the winter, A, would you go inside and grab a baseball bat and come out and beat every damn dent in the side of it, bust out the windows, scratch up the paint, flatten the tires? Or would you work on it, try to get it working? Take care of it to get it working? There are your two choices. I choose B. That brand new car, I ain't going around beating the hell out of it because it ain't going nowhere anyway. It ain't going to fix the problem. Well, you see, it was the same thing back during when people bought slaves. They bought a slave, let's say it was $150. Now, $150 during the Civil War, that was a lot of money, y'all. And I'm going to take them to my plantation. I'm going to put them in a house. We're going to match him up with old girls so he can make, healthy slaves. Because you see, a lot of those slaves that came over on them boats weren't very healthy when they came over. They didn't make no money on no half-dead slave. They made money on healthy people because they were profitable. They would get out there and work the fields. You had a sick person out there, they ain't working as well as somebody that wasn't. Now, like I said, we hear all in the news the bad stuff. That's all that makes the news. So in history, it's the same way. You're going to hear about the bad stuff. Okay? Slavery was bad. Yes, it was. It wasn't all that, the history books put down, because there was a lot of slaves took their masters' names after they were freed and didn't want to leave because they were taken care of. They had food in their belly, a roof over their head, a family, a job. So I got to thinking about that Calvin Bundy statement. He said that he wonders if black people were better off being slaves than they are today with the government being on welfare and stuff. All right? Well, if they were slaves, they were all taken care of. Even if you're on welfare and you got the food stamps and all that, you still got to, or you want to be controlled by a government, or do you want to, have what you want, have what you have because it was given to, either way is bad. Either way. But what's the lesser of the two evils? That's what that man was saying. And automatically he's racist. That's just like Phil Robinson when he was talking about working in the cotton fields here in Louisiana. And all the black people were singing and having a good time. They did that. Look, if anybody been in jail, been on the chain gang, all that, and the railroad, we hear about that on the railroad. People were singing hymns, and they were passing the time. They were happy that they had a job. No, all these people, if you stand up to the government, you're either racist or you're a domestic terrorist. It's all right to stand up to the government. It states in there that if a government is not working for the people, then it's up to the people's right to replace said government with a working government by force if necessary. But we're domestic terrorists. We're racist because of it. Y'all people need to get a clue. All right? I grew up amongst some of my best friends in the world are black. They love me to death. I love them. I had a friend of mine the other day, black man come over to my house. I took him out to eat with his old lady. Went and ate some seafood. Got no problem with him. We all bleed red. We're all Americans. Drop the African in front of it and just put American. You're an American. All right? You can't have your cake and eat it too, people. You can't sit there and say, well, we want to be a part of something, but yet we want to be separate. An example. You can't sit there and say, we want to be integrated in schools, but we want our own newspaper and with no white people in it. Or we want an NAACP, but if we had a or a BET. Hold up. There you go. BET. You want a black entertainment television, but if we put a white entertainment television, that would be racist. Excuse me. So, you can't have your cake and eat it too, people. Start living as Americans, as equals, under the law. We all bleed red. I have served in the United States military with some of the best men I have ever known in my life, and most of them that I served with were a minority. Not black, not white, a minority. Plain and simple. Filipinos, Japanese, Latino, black, white. We're all on the same earth together, people. We need to start learning how to live with one another. This is over, okay? You can't cry wolf every time somebody says something that you don't... oh, he's racist. No, he ain't racist. He pointed out a fact. read what he said. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend, man. That's my thought of the day. Y'all be good. And as always, peace. Turkey loves you. You come back and hear me. Yeah.